네, 안녕하세요. 코치텐입니다. 기억영어 스노우볼 챌린지 38회입니다. 38회 도전을 시작해 보겠습니다. 네, 바로 갈게요. 네, 오늘의 단어는요, 4개인데, 농구 코트에 있는 4개, 어떻게 되냐면, 벤치, 점수판, 그 다음에 점수판, 그 다음에 정수기, 물 먹는 정수기, 그리고 샤워실, 이렇게 4개가 됩니다. 그러면 오늘 거 먼저 하고, 그 다음에 이어서 가겠습니다. 도전하겠습니다. 자, 준비, 할 말 떠올리고요. 준비, go. There are some benches around the court. I go to one of the bench. I sit down on the bench. I stand up from the bench. There is a scoreboard outside the court. I look at the scoreboard. I check the score. I check the time. I feel thirsty. I'm thirsty. So I go to the water dispenser. I press the button. I use a paper cup. I drink some water. After playing basketball, I go to the shower room. I get into the shower room. I take a shower. I dry my body with a towel. 됐죠? 잘 나온 것 같습니다. 네, 죄송합니다. 목이 좀 쉬어가지고. 자, 그러면 이제 도전하겠습니다. 자, 처음부터 학교 처음 교실부터 여기 농구장 마지막입니다. 오늘 농구장까지 한 번에 쭉 가겠습니다. 준비. 할 말 떠올리고요. 준비. Go. I get into the classroom. I go to the desk. I sit down at the desk. I get ready for the class. I open my backpack. I take out a textbook. I open the textbook, read the textbook. I close the textbook. I pick up a pencil. I pick up a pencil out of my pencil case. I use the pencil. I draw a mind map. I put it back into the pencil case. I pick up a textbook. I open the textbook. I take notes. I close the textbook. There's my friend standing next to the locker. I look at my friends. I say hello to my friends. I have small talk with my friends. I go to the locker. Open the locker. I put my backpack into the locker. I close the locker. I pick up my backpack. I put my backpack into the locker. I take out my backpack from the locker. I put my backpack over my shoulder. There's a teacher standing in front of the whiteboard. I look at the teacher. I say hello to the teacher. And I have small talk with the teacher. I go to the whiteboard. I stand in front of the whiteboard. I pick up a marker. I draw a mind map. I write down on the white marker. I erase the whiteboard. I pick up a marker. I use the marker. I draw a mind map. And I write down on the whiteboard. I go to the library. I stand at the main entrance of the library. I wait for my friends at the main entrance of the library. I meet my friends there. I get into the library. I go to the information desk and I take out my membership card. I scan my membership card. There are some steps there at the information desk. I look at them and I say hello to them. I have small talk with them. I take out my membership card. I use my membership card. I tap my membership card on the card reader. I walk through the gate. I get into the library. I go to the return desk. I open my backpack. I take out the books. I return the books. There's a free Wi-Fi zone in the whole of the library. I pick up my phone. I search for the free Wi-Fi. I connect into the free Wi-Fi. I feel thirsty. I go to the vending machine. I put some coins into the slot. I press the button. I take out a soda. I drink some soda. There's a big speaker in the hall of the library. I listen to some music. Sometimes I hear an announcement. And there are some sofas in the hall of the library. I go to the sofa. I sit down on the sofa. I take a rest. I pick up my phone. I watch YouTube on my phone. There are some stacks on the first floor. I walk up the steps to the first floor. I get into the stacks. I take a look around. There are so many books on the bookshelf. I go to the section for the psychologists. I pick up a book about the psychology. I look through the book. And I bring it to the table. I sit down at the table. I open the book. I read the book. I close the book. I get into the mini stores. I take a look around. I go to the counter. I get in line. It's my turn. I look at the steps. I say hello to the steps. I put all stops on the counter. I pay for it. I take out my credit card. I use my credit card. I pay for it by my credit card. I put it back into my wallet. I take a look around. I pick up a sandwich. I buy a sandwich. I eat a sandwich. I take a look around. I pick up a soda. I buy a soda. I drink a soda. I take a look around. I pick up some snacks. I buy some snacks. I eat some snacks. I go to the sofa. I sit down. 잠깐만요. 코가 간지럽네. 이어갈게요. I go to the sofa. I sit down on the sofa. I take a rest on the sofa with some snacks. There's a table in front of the sofa. I use the table. I put some snacks on the table. There is a napkin on the table. I pick up a paper, tissue. I use the tissue. I wipe my mouth with the tissue. I wipe the table. I pick up the trash, all of them, and I go to the trash can, open the trash can, I throw the trash into the trash can, I close the trash can. And I go to the basketball court. I go to the main gate of the basketball gym. I open the main gate, I get into the basketball gym, I close the main gate. There is a huge shoe rack next to the main gate. I go to the shoe rack, I take off my shoes, I put my shoes on the shoe rack. There are so many basketball shoes there. I take a look around, I pick up my basketball shoes, I put on my basketball shoes. I change into my basketball shoes. I get into the basketball court and I do warm up, I do some stretching, and I play basketball with my friends. There is a coach on the basketball court. I go to the coach, I look at the coach, I say hello to the coach, and I listen to his advice. There are some players on the court. I go there and I say hello to them. I play basketball with them. And there are some benches around the court. I go to one of the bench. I sit down on the bench. I stand up from the bench. And there is a scoreboard outside the court. I look at the scoreboard, I check the score, I check the time. I feel thirsty, I'm thirsty. I go to the water dispenser, I press the button, I use the paper cup, I drink some water. And after playing basketball, I get into the shower room and I take a shower, I dry my body with a towel and I change my clothes. 됐죠? 잘 나온 것 같습니다. 다 나온 것 같아요. 네, 다 나왔습니다.